It's time to go stock car racing at the one and only Charlotte Motor Speedway, under the lights. It's 100 miles, 67 laps, some 40 cars strong. The Sportsman division, always a rough and ready, wild affair. And tonight should be no exception. Hello, everybody. I'm Ken Squire. With me is Dr. Dick Berggren, and we're getting ready for stock car racing. It's actually like old-time short track racing, except it's a 1.5 mile high bank track. It's a great learning experience. It's also one of the wildest shows we bring you every year, Dick.
Oh, it really is. And you know how everybody says you can't win the race on the first lap? Watch this deal tonight. Lester Lesniewski is going to start in 8th spot. He says he has reviewed his career. His only problem, he says, is he doesn't get started well enough at the very beginning of the race, so he is going to charge. And Russell Phillips is going to start in the 3rd spot. His best finish ever is an 8th spot, and he says he has got to charge right at the beginning. He said, this is a learning experience. I want to be right up front.
And the people in the front row definitely say they're going to hold on to it. That's Marty Ward and Sherry Minter, who's as good a woman driver in stock car racing as there is today. So the first lap, all 67 laps, ought to be dynamite. Let's meet some of the stars right now with Glenn Jarrett.
Well, we're sitting beside of Sherry Minter, who is starting on the outside pole here tonight. Had the pole last year. You had a 3rd last weekend in the Sportsman race. You seem to have a real feel for this track, Sherry.
Oh, I do. I love Charlotte Motor Speedway, and I have to say Wednesday night is my favorite race here under the lights. So we're going to give it our best try, and I'm going to try to bring it home in victory circle tonight.
Well, we hope that we'll be able to talk to her there. Now let's go to Randy with the pole sitter.
Well, you can call this guy the man. It's Marty Ward. He's got the track record, the event record, 34.199 seconds around here, a speed of 157.899. On top of that, he's won 4 straight of these. Why so much success here?
Well, you know, it's a lot of team efforts, you know, and Hooters come on board and really got behind us and took a lot of pressure off me and some other guys. And like I say, it's just a team effort, and that's what seemed to put us out front.
Have you ever heard of a bounty, somebody putting a bounty on your head? Maybe they'll have to do that here.
Well, I hope not. Like I say, you know, this is a good way to start the year out. You know, we're going to try to run a bush race later on, so this really just topped the whole year off. So just got us started, and we're all pumped up. So if we can just do good tonight, we'll be happy bunch.
Okay, good luck. They'll have to put a few grand on him, but I'll tell you, he'll be tough tonight, Ken.
Tough indeed, as they're all going to be tough in this kind of racing. Hey, we want to welcome the Sunshine Network to tonight's Sportsman 100 coverage here on Prime. Let's take a look at the starting grid for tonight's Sportsman 100. Marty Ward in the Hooters Chevrolets on the pole, Sherry Minter right alongside. Going in row 2, it's Russell Phillips and Jerry Rector. In row 3, Wally Fowler and Gary Layton. For row 4 tonight, Mike Galt is there, and Lester Lesniewski, who's going to be on the charge. Row 5 is Steve Clark and Ronnie Sewell. For row 6, it's Andy Thurman and Don Wagner. Bubba Urban is back in row 7 with Robbie Faggart, who's won one of these races a year ago. David Owens and David R. Smith are in row 8. Robin Caldwell and Red Everett for row 9. Shot Howards in row 10 with Claude Harp. Then it's David Smith and Dale McDowell. For row 12, Billy Scott and Stephen Howard, Matt Mullins and Bobby Fox Jr. for row 13. Row 14 is Mickey Hudspeth in the D&D tire car and Timothy Edwards. Row 15 tonight, our favorite. At least 43, it could be 53. Henry Benfield is back in the Tanya Tucker Salsa Ford, and Don Satterfield with him. Then there comes Ronnie Grimstaff and Timothy Neighbors in row 16. Row 17 tonight is Paul Shaver and Leo Hendry. Row 18 is Andy Stone, and Joe Gaeta is with him. Scott, let's see, Coutu is in row 19 with Rick Baxley. And finally, row 20 tonight is Perry Tripp and Ron Hickson as we get ready to go. That's Coutu, Scott Coutu. Now we got them all. There's 40 guys ready to go. Any predictions on this one, Berggren?
Yeah, a wild night. When these cars run under the lights at Charlotte Motor Speedway, in reality, this thing has sometimes turned into a crash fest. We hope that doesn't happen here tonight, but it has in the past. So we hope we're just going to see good close racing, but don't be surprised to see some bent-up sheet metal.
Indeed. Now, here's the analysis. There's $30,000 at stake for these Sportsman cars, 40 starting, and 67 laps the distance. Let's talk for just a moment about these Sportsman cars, which are kinfolk of those Winston Cup cars on the NASCAR circuit.
Well, most of these cars actually were Winston Cup cars at one point or another. In order to make this an affordable division, however, they have very much restricted the engines. You can't do anything to the cylinder heads. They have to basically be stock. You have to run a little tiny carburetor, so you can't get too terribly much air into it. That keeps the engines going. They're going to finish the race on the same tires they ran on. But let me tell you what, these drivers run wide open all the way around, and they only got one place to go, and that's the front of the field. They are all auditioning for a Busch ride or a Winston Cup ride. They know those car owners are here.
Single file start as they come down to the line. 40 strong. Leading the field in, Marty Howard takes them there, and Sherry Minter in the 61 right behind. She was up on the pole for one of these races last year.
3 of them last year in the spring. She won the pole for all 3 events.
Good stout run off the second turn and into the backstretch. That's going to keep Marty Ward up in front, and Minter's under pressure already as they go down the back straightaway. Here's the 57 making a move on the inside. Russell Phillips going for second position.
Yeah, and here's the young man who said that he wanted to get experience running up front, that this is supposed to be about experience. He is challenging Sherry Minter on the low side.
And Minter holds him off. Jerry Rector's there in fourth, a little further back, trying 3 different lines as they come down out of 4.
Yeah, that's good. Well, they start them single file, and that has helped a great deal rather than doing it too wide. Up front, good battle for third spot. That's Minter on the outside with the green car. And 81, Jerry Rector.
Minter on the outside, Rector down on the bottom. Hasn't Rector yet, but getting close. Boy, what a fight they're having. Good show. Meanwhile, the red car up in front, off the pole, Marty Ward. Looks like he's ready for more.
He's been the dominant driver all year long. He's looking forward to running several Grand National races toward the tail end of the season, bringing Hooters with him. That's him on the lead on the left side of your screen, Marty Ward. Won here last Saturday night.
And they're still side by side as they hustle down into turn number 3, stacking them up. You see the 4 on the outside of Wally Fowler being challenged by number 81, Jerry Rector. Wheel to wheel, good show. Minter still stays second.
Her goal is to become the first female to win on a super speedway. No woman has ever won a major league race at a super speedway. Minter said earlier today, it could happen tonight. This could be my shot. And she is looking real good right now, running a solid second position.
Out of Martinsville, Virginia, her dad, well known in stock car ranks. She's been around this sport for a long time. Not intimidated by any part of it. Good, solid racer.
This is a good race right here with Fowler on the outside, Rector on the inside.
And Lesneski, your buddy, who is going to go to the front on the first lap, remember, from 6. This is all for 4th. They're not letting him through. That's pretty tough running out there.
No, the highway's blocked right there. He's stuck.
Right behind Lesneski, you see that yellow number 74. That's Gary Layton doing a fine job. Still, Marty Ward continues to hold the lead and dominate this thing. The 98 comes back. Here's Lester Lesneski finding that inside hole and not getting through.
He has never won one of these races. His best finish ever was second in the October race last year. Look at this.
Yeah, that's Minter right there on the bottom. Sherry Minter going for first spot.
Wow. And she's got it.
Sherry Minter makes the move and puts the number 61. 35-year-old Sherry Minter in the Kerr Drugstore Chevrolet goes out in front here in this 100-mile 67 Sportsman race, 67-lap Sportsman race. 5 laps are now complete. Well, it's an all-star cast from all over the country, and we're into a caution because a San Francisco, California driver in the Intermedia Partners Buick, Leo Hindery, had a little problem here with number 34 in turn 4. Take a look at what happened.
He was gone already. Round and round he goes, and where he will wind up is smoking the tires and smoking them some more. We'll take another look at it here and see if we can catch it. Oh, he's already gone right there.
Might have got a little tap.
It's easy to lose control of these things at this particular situation. They're running wide open all the way, and the drivers really don't want to lift, even when they get in trouble. It takes a while to get the engines wound back up again, so they hang on for dear life as long as they possibly can, and sometimes a little too long.
Larry Hendry might have left his heart in San Francisco, but he's left his stomach right there on a double spin in turn 4 of the Charlotte Motor Speedway. One lap, and they're going to turn them loose here another time. Randy Pemberton has the story for us in the pits.
Well, we've documented why these drivers race in this series. They try to get experience. They would like to move up to the Busch Series as well as Winston Cup someday. Crew members are the same. People write in from all over the country. How do I get a job as a crew member on one of these teams? Well, down here in the Jerry Rector pit, 2 guys that have gotten a break. They are on Rusty Wallace's Miller Genuine Draft team, but they are youngsters on that team. In order to get some experience, they're over here right now. They're going to change some tires. It's Mark Armstrong and Jeffrey Paxton. They're going to get a little experience. They're trying to move up in case anything happens to somebody on the pit crew of Rusty Wallace. They want to be ready to go. So they've been here since 9 o'clock this morning, and they're still here right now. That's dedication. That's how you get the experience.
That's what this division is all about. Randy Pemberton with that story. And we got a car that's being penalized. R.C. Hickson's number 51, we're being told. Trouble on pit road. Ran the stop sign, so they're going to bring him in, have a little chat. Meanwhile, we're getting ready to go racing. That crew that you saw there on pit road that Randy was talking about is Jerry Rector's outfit that is running in 4th place. As they come to the line, Minter is 1st, Ward is 2nd, Phillips 3rd, Rector 4th, Wally Fowler 5th, Lesneski is 6th, Gary Layton 7th, Robbie Faggart 8th, Mike Gall in 9th, and Ronnie Sewell is 10th. So we have a green flag, and we're back to racing as they complete 9 laps.
And Hickson is a full half lap behind Ken. That was a very costly penalty for him.
He's got a lot of making up to do to get back into this one. So out in front, we watch Sherry Minter move away by 2-3 car lengths from the man who sat on the pole, Marty Ward.
The 2 drivers who are in the lead are both doing this full time. Minter spending most of her time trying somehow or another to get enough sponsorship so she can race more and move up in the division. And look at her run away from Marty Ward. He's spending full time doing the mechanical work on his race car and getting together some Grand National cars for that start he hopes to make later this year. Minter pulling away. What a great job she's doing.
Here's Ward down there in 2nd spot. Minter getting a nice line out of turn 2. Takes it out easily, doesn't pinch the car, stays out in front. Ward losing another car length to her right there. So, Sherry Minter, what are your goals beyond the sportsman division we see running here at Charlotte?
I would love to have the opportunity to try a Busch Grand National car. Of course, it takes a lot of sponsorship and a lot of money to do that. But hopefully, if we continue and try to be as successful as possible in the sportsman division, then maybe we'll get a chance to do that, or even the new NASCAR Super Truck division. I love pickup trucks, so I'd like to try that too.
That's Sherry Minter, and that's the woman running in 1st place. The guy right behind is Marty Ward, who sat on the pole, and then you got a real war. Look at this 81 and the 51 just continuing their own struggle out there, and that is the Jerry Rector in the 81 and the car of Russell Phillips, and Rector for the moment has the advantage and is up to 3rd spot.
It is getting very, very busy back there, however.
And look at Lesneski coming on that black car down to the inside. Number 4, Wally Fowler mixes it up. And how about number 8? Robbie Faggart gets right back into it another time. The blue, white numeral number 8 is Robbie Faggart.
He tried high, he tried low, he just picked the lane he thought was going to go the best, and so far so good. Lesneski on the bottom in that black car, losing ground.
Wally Fowler just in front of them in the 4, coming out 3 wide here. Faggart not wanting to go. Hold on to it. Almost in the wall. Takes it in the wall. Faggart slapping the wall hard, going out of turn 2.
3 wide does not work.
Robbie Faggart in car number 8 as they race back to the line. Sherry Minter with the advantage. Ward in 2nd, Rector 3rd, Fowler 4th to the stripe. So Sherry Minter has the advantage. dad, Clyde Minter. Oh, take a look at Faggart. We'll get back to the Minter story in a moment. Let's take a look and replay of what happened to number 8 here. Lesniewski down on the inside, the 57. That's Russell Phillips up on the outside. This is all there for 5th.
And it just started right there, Ken, when Faggart and Lesniewski tangled just the slightest bit, and boom, Faggart winds up in the wall.
Got another look at Concord, North Carolina's.
Watch the right rear of the black car. Lesniewski, he just gets into the left front of the 8 car. Faggart just the slightest amount. Boom, there it is. And see the smoke?
And Robbie Faggart, a winner of 6 Sportsman races, is going to be around at the finish of this one to take any checkered flag tonight. The Congolium Chevrolet in the wall. And you know what? No caution after that hard hit in the wall. He got it on pit road and kept right on running. Sherry Minter stays first, and we'll be back with more shortly. Not a caution, a hard hit in the wall. You might have thought they would have stopped for debris out there, Dick Berger. Not the case. They kept right on flying, and we're now 19 of 67 laps complete in this Sportsman race with Sherry Minter out in front, and Glenn Jarrett is standing by with her crew chief.
Well, and her crew chief, this man, Tommy Johnson, is one of the reasons that she's so fast. He also does double duty as her husband. Now, you got to be proud of her.
I really am, and she's doing what she likes to do, and I'm proud of her.
I got to know one thing, Tommy. Who makes the major decisions?
She does.
Hey, I knew he was going to say that.
Sherry Minter leading. Her dad, back in the early days of stock car racing, was some racer, drove in 38 of what is now called the Winston Cup Series, back from the late 1949 to 55. Look at this battle. So, as they come struggling out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway, that's all for 12th position. I'll tell you who's getting into this thing is David Smith in the 18. He's come up from 21st, and he is traveling. The 24 car, that's Don Wagner leading that crowd in that struggle for 12th position, Dick.
And the 21 car, Matt Mullen, just bounced it off the wall a couple of laps ago. He is not afraid of anything out of Long Island, all the way down here to run the Sportsman cars.
We see them come from Canada, from California, everyone getting the sense this is the right way to pick up on some experience on super speedways.
We're getting some experience there going into the corner 3 wide, too, and making it, which maybe we wouldn't have seen a few years ago when this division first began.
You see Mickey Hudspeth there. He's running in 27th position. That's the car 26, Hudspeth. And there's the 88 of David Owens, who is running back in there, too, in 25th, 26th position to keep that struggle going. Take a look at Minter, and she's beginning to draw away.
She is checking out. Her best career finish ever. She said this morning she was proud of it. She did it last Saturday night. It was 3rd. That matched her father's best career finish, the 3rd at Charlotte.
And that was on a dirt track in Charlotte way back in the early 50s when they used to run the old Charlotte Fairgrounds. I bet you Bruton Smith promoted that.
Probably did.
Probably
made money out of it, too.
Well, more than he and Curtis did when they opened this Charlotte Motor Speedway. But why haven't they turned that around in the past few years? Or rather, hasn't Bruton and Humpy Wheeler. Look at this. Here's Marty Ward's continuing to run in the 2nd position. That's tightening up out there. The 1st to 2nd is now about 1 4/10 seconds as they come back to the line. You see that 81. That's Jerry Rector back for 2nd, and Marty Ward dropping back again, or back to 3rd.
And Fowler in the 4 car has made several moves on the inside of Rector's car. Can't seem to get by him, but he sure is giving it a try. Those are the 2 white cars there. That's for 3rd and 4th spot.
Right now, Randy Pemberton is standing by with Robbie Faggart.
Well, Robbie has certainly retired his car in the garage area. Robbie, we're going to go ahead and cue this replay up for you and let you describe what happened out there.
Well, Al Sturban Chevrolet, all these cars are equally matched, and what we try to do is just pass them as soon as we come to them. The 98 car and the 57 car were running neck and neck. I made a move on the outside, and I think there's a little bit of oil somebody had put down, and I just got loose and come back across the racetrack. Just luckily, nobody else was gathered up in a crash.
Certainly, this series has gotten safer and safer. You all are doing a better job, though, in the cars.
Yeah, these guys are really, they all want to do as well as they can, and they want to try to run as many races as possible, not tear their cars up, but just unfortunate for the Allison Irwin Chevrolet tonight. We'll try to be back this Saturday.
Okay, Robbie Faggart, a former winner here at this track.
It's hard to watch that on television, isn't it? See it all happen again.
Yep, and then they can replay it forever on the way home. We'll watch Sherry Minter and her efforts with 26 of 76 laps complete to win her first Sportsman race here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Back with you in this Sportsman 100-mile race, and let me correct something. This is 67 laps, not 76, and we are working the 30th at the present time. Sherry Minter working her way through traffic. And as she comes around out of turn number 4, we'll show you the interval back to that second position, which is closing up a bit. It's down to 1 3/10 seconds to Marty Ward in the red number 97. Closing ground now on Sherry Minter. She had him drawn by over 2 seconds from checking out just a couple of laps ago, and now Ward is closing the distance again.
Well, she has been running through an awful lot of traffic, and she says her great shortcoming is that she just doesn't have all the experience that she should have. This is all she does, is run this series. 3 races in the spring, a couple in Pocono in the summertime, and 2 or 3 races in the fall back here at Charlotte. On the other hand, Marty Ward has run hundreds of races, maybe thousands of races, and that is his advantage. And right now, she's got a rearview mirror full of Marty Ward.
Here he comes, closing that distance up in this traffic. She's having her problems, and she gets down to the inside on the 11 car of Henry Benfield, scoots under Henry. But she does look like she's walking on eggshells out there, doesn't she?
Well, she really is, and she knows she has got to finish. She's crashed here, and she's crashed hard. She separated her shoulder here last year. Look at this. We've got 2 wide for the lead. Henry Benfield in the 11 car. A lap car right in front of her, about to be a lap car, right in front of these leaders.
So which way do you go?
The whole racetrack is blocked. There's no place. Oh, look at this. Ward takes the high line, and that was the line that worked. Minter trapped on the bottom. Rector going to get by on the outside, and so is Fowler. From 1st to 4th, boom, just like that.
Half a lap.
Yep.
Ward again with the advantage.
And look at this. They still haven't gotten by Henry Benfield.
Henry's holding fast here tonight. Ooh, Henry. Give it up, Henry.
Yeah, I think he just did. I think he will, or did he? Henry the gas man for Junior Johnson. That's his real-life job.
And truck driver, and darn good one.
All of the above.
Let's get a little further back in the field here as they come down out of turn 2. There's the front 4 with Marty Ward there. A lot of drivers in this division don't have much experience on super speedways. How much trust do you put in other drivers is the question here as we come to halfway.
Well, you have to put a lot of trust in them, like I say. You know, the ones that's really running up front seems to be the ones that's got more experience here than the rest of them. So, like I say, Saturday night, me and Sherry, we run side by side for about 4 or 5 laps, you know. And you just have to put a lot of trust in who's there. And like I say, Jerry Rector, he was in there. You know, you just kind of have to trust the guys you run with. And like I say, the ones that's up front, the ones really got all the experience.
Marty Ward out in front and really on the fly with car number 81 right there with him. Jerry Rector and Wally Fowler in 3rd. Sherry Minter back to 4th. Lesneski 5th. Russell Phillips is 6th. Gary Layton 7th. David Smith 8th. Mike Galt is in 9th. And Roddy Sewell runs in 10th position. Marty Ward says he'll run 5 Busch Series races this year. Looks like he's ready for it out here tonight. 39 laps complete, and they've been flawless thus far, and Sherry Minter has just made the move on Wally Fowler to put herself up into 3rd position, and she's getting stronger in traffic as Marty Ward in that red number 97 continues to lead with the 81 of Rector in 2nd and Minter in a war. Now here's Lesneski in number 98 down on the inside as they work their way around the 3rd and 4th turn in the 40th lap.
Lesneski has never won one of these races. Fowler has won. He won here last fall. Minter has never won one of these races.
The leader's crew chief is standing by with Glenn Jarrett.
And he is also the car owner. This is Lawrence Ledford. And Lawrence, Marty was able to use that traffic to get back up into 1st place, but he also hasn't been able to get away from him. Can he hold him off?
I believe we might be able to hold them off. We've got a little push in the car in 3 and 4. Marty's an excellent driver in traffic. I think he'll be able to hold them.
Well, let's see what Rector's got for him. Let's go down to Randy.
Well, Lenny Green is Jerry Rector's crew chief. Lenny, you're standing fast right now in second place. Have you got anything for the leader? You're just over halfway now.
Well, we're hoping. The car's a little tight, and he just radioed in has picked up some type of vibration, so we're just hanging on. That's all we do.
Wow, tough break of vibration. Still running strong, though.
There's that 81 car in that second spot. Now, car number 11, that's Uncle Henry Benfield, and things are not going well for Uncle Henry tonight.
Oh, they are indeed now. He's just been penalized 3 laps for apparently ignoring the move over flag, or at least that's what the officials said. So Henry is going to the back of the pack, and then some.
And then some. There's Henry. And there's the number 11, which he's driving, and has now been set down 3 laps. Oh, Henry's going to be hot about that. Side by side, 5th place struggle. You see Lesneski and Fowler at it out there. Fowler in the 4, Lesneski down on the inside, and we've seen some great racing today than this one. Past the halfway mark, and nary a caution flag to date, and this one has been wreck-strewn time after time. Sherry Minter has worked her way back up to 3rd, but now Lesneski is coming after her, and she's going after those 2 leaders. She's closing on Jerry Rector in the 81 and Ward. They ran her down. She had a 2-second advantage, got trapped in traffic, worked her way back through, fell to 5th, and now she's going back for the lead another time.
And she's doing a great job of it, too. Rector in front of her is running this race on a borrowed engine. Red Everett, who crashed here so hard last year, Crash and Fire, has loaned Rector one of his engines. And here it is, running right up in front of the grid with a borrowed engine.
And just in front of her is that K&S wholesale car that Jerry Rector is driving. And that Chevy's looking very good. He's closing in on the leader, Marty Ward. You got Chevrolets running the top 5 positions in this sportsman battle, and Sherry Minter is now being challenged by, here goes Lesneski, down to the inside as he fights his way through with Sherry Minter and makes the move.
Throwing all kinds of sparks underneath the car, but Minter's not going to give up on this, can she? Is right back at him again.
Great struggle. 45 laps are complete, and Lesneski is now on a roll. He's come up through traffic. Lesneski in that black and yellow car, orange numerals. What a war he is making out of this. He's the 2nd driver from Porterville, California out here. Started 8th in the event, and he's worked his way up through with patience and finds himself in 3rd, and he's ready to challenge. Challenge for the lead coming here? No, 81 drops back in. Quickly to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Ken, Jerry Rector in the number 81 car has been racing a long time. The first time that I ever ran at Charlotte Motor Speedway was in a Busch Grand National race, a sportsman race at that time in 1976. I had a heck of a battle all day long with Jerry Rector for 7th place. I wound up finishing 7th. Jerry was 8th. He's got a lot of experience on this racetrack. He might be having a little trouble with that car. He's got to know how to overcome it.
And Lester Lesneski's making a race out of it on the bottom. He's getting through. Here comes Sherry Minter trying to make a move. Dropping back down in is Rector, trying to hold that position. 20 laps to go, and we'll be back to bring it to you after we pause for these messages. Great race. Lester Lesneski is checking out. The Porterville, California campaigner in for, oh, we've got a spin, a crash in turn 4. Bad one. First caution of the day is a horrific crash. Minter's car spinning and dropping to the bottom of the track, and one car badly torn up. There's Minter's car. It is thrashed. This is the 1 car of Don Satterfield, still on fire.
I bet he doesn't know it's on fire.
I don't think that he has any knowledge that it's on fire.
No, but I think Sherry Minter has just pulled up to say to him, by the way, you have something going on in your gas tank
department.
Yes.
There's Minter's number 61. What a discouraging night for her after such a great run.
She had a legitimate shot to win this race and become the first woman ever to win a super speedway event.
Only driver in tonight's field with Winston Cup experience is this driver in car number 1. Satterfield taking his time coming out. They've got it under control. He seemed a little nonplussed by the whole thing. Let's take another look at this as the Kerr drug car comes onto pit road. There's Satterfield's car. 21 comes up, bang, gets into him. Boy, that was a hard hit,
yeah,
too.
That was Matt Mullins.
That sends Satterfield around, and now he's about to get in big trouble.
Yep.
48 catches him.
Boy, look at the fire.
Out of Satterfield. I believe that's is that Bubba Urban's car? And here comes the hard hit.
Yep. No place to go.
No place to go.
Nope.
So there's another car, and then Sherry Minter got into the wall trying to avoid. She got in the brakes. You see Lesneski, who had just taken the lead. So they're working with Satterfield, and we'll be back with more on this story. 51 laps are complete. With you at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Sportsman 100. And let's check off the cars that were involved in the crash. Car number 0, Tim Neighbors, got collected in that, as did car number 61. And they're putting Satterfield down on the ground. You saw him climb out of his car, seem okay. Now they want to administer to him right there on the spot, and they'll take him to the infield care center. That's Satterfield's car as it got collected by the 21 of Matt Mullins.
46,
correction, the 46, Bubba Urban. Indeed was Bubba Urban.
Yeah, and there's all the fire. Boy, Urban's got fire under his hood. Satterfield's got fire. Oh, what a
Henry
hit.
Binfield gets hit. And there's the 0, Tim Neighbors, taking a very hard hit. He was the one that came right through the middle. Tim Neighbors in number 0. And then 24, Don Wagner, got collected too. So they're working down there. It seems like everybody is okay, but they're really being very careful about Saturday. Now here's the lead change. You see Lesneski come down to the inside. This was a lap before as he was working Marty Ward. And you see Sherry Minter, she had fallen back, then she made another run, got herself back to 3rd here beneath Wally Fowler. But Lesneski had taken the lead and moved out some 15 or 20 car lengths. And Glenn Jarrett is making his way to Sherry Minter right now, whose Kerr drug car took a very hard hit as she tried to avoid that incident. And let's go to Glenn. Again, we'll try to get Glenn Jarrett, who's making his way to Sherry Minter. 5-car accident here in turn 4. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back and get with some of these drivers, including Sherry Minter, after this incident. 53 of 67 laps are now complete. We're back with you at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and they are putting Don Satterfield on a stretcher to take him to the infield care center here at Charlotte. We saw him climb out of his car. It was a car on fire, and he got out with some ease, and then they got very concerned about him, put him down on the ground, and now they are taking him over to the center and make sure that he is all right. He took a terrible hit after the first crash up into the wall in the 4th turn. He was hit by another car of Tim Neighbors. Here's how it began. The 21 car, Matt Mullins, tags the 1 of Satterfield. He moves up, and with no place to go, Bubba Urban is in there hard.
He sure is in there hard, and there's the initial fire out the front end of Satterfield's car, gets into the hood area of Urban's car, and there's a lot more going on right behind them.
And there's about to be more. Dropping down across the track comes Satterfield, and Neighbors has no place to go but through him. Tim Neighbors, number 0, taking a terrible beating in that crash. Driver from Glen Level, North Carolina. And you see that Sherry Minter, as she checked up to get away from that, crashed into the wall. And speaking of Sherry Minter, she's with Glenn Jarrett now.
Well, Sherry Minter has climbed from her battered Chevrolet. You told me earlier at the top of the show you hoped to talk to me in victory lane. It looked like for a while you were going to be able to do that, but looks like you just ran out of room down there, Sherry.
Well, yeah, when I came into turn 3, it was cars sitting everywhere, and I was fine. I had me a hole picked out, but I ran through some oil or water or something up there and just couldn't slow down. So I said earlier I thought tonight was my night. Well, I guess it was my night for excitement.
Well, it was certainly exciting. We're glad to see that you're okay. Will you be ready for the next race?
I'll be here Saturday.
Okay, let's go down to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Jerry Rector did an excellent job in missing Sherry Minter in that wreck. Now, you would think normally, as he did that, we documented before that he had a vibration. He thought it might be a right front tire. Now, unfortunately, in the Sportsman division, you're not allowed to change tires unless you flat spot them. So therefore, they think the vibration is in the right front. If they came down pit road and changed the tire, they would automatically lose a lap. Now, the officials have said they are allowed to come down and check the tire, but they would lose track position. So poor Jerry Rector is out there trying to run around with a vibration in the right front. So even when he would normally come down in another division, he cannot come onto pit road and change tires.
Running in third position is Rector. Now we're going to be back with a restart about another lap. We'll take a break right here as Lester Lesniewski continues to lead. Marty Ward right there with him. 8 laps to go, and this is just completing the lap under green with Lester Lesniewski out in front, Marty Ward in second, Jerry Rector third, Fowler is fourth. Moving up is number 18, David Smith to fifth, who started 21st tonight. Russell Phillips is in there. Now it's Layton, Gary Layton going up into fifth, and Smith falling back a little. But here's the story. Smith falling back to seventh as they go down into the back straightaway. The story is here for the lead. There's Lester Lesniewski of Porterville, California, holding off car number 97, Marty Ward.
At least for the moment, he's holding off Marty Ward. Ward is looking at the high side at the moment. He has looked at the bottom as well. Meanwhile, Lesniewski's car dropping down to the pavement, shooting a shower of sparks from time to time. Big fight for the lead. Wally Fowler, meanwhile, in the 4, running third. He's holding back a big pack, too.
And that's the 81, Jerry Rector, right with that 4. What a struggle they're having. The 74 stays with him. That is Gary Layton now in fifth, and David Smith falls back a bit. The 18 car into sixth. Back up front, Marty Ward looking for some running room. Right up, climbing into the trunk of number 97, Lesniewski.
And this can't last like this. Ward is absolutely all over Lesniewski's back bumper. Either he is going to get by him or something's going to happen. They are running so very close as this race draws to a close. We are on lap 61 of 67. It is almost over. They both know this is the time. This is the time to make the move to win the race.
David Smith is back in 6th, and 7th is Russell Phillips. It's Mike Galt in 8th, and the Thurman is in 9th. Sewell is in 10th, Steve Howard 11th.
Well, that looked like it was it. All of a sudden, Lesniewski went high, Ward went down low, but Lesniewski managed to carry the momentum up there with him, and Ward couldn't get him. 5 laps to go. Big fight up front.
Just behind them, Fowler stays third. Rector and Layton continue their own war. Jerry Rector trying to challenge in that yellow car on these cars running in third and fourth. There you see the 4 car, Fowler. Jerry Rector with a handful. That car not handling well. Here comes the 74. Gary Layton back after him again. And David Smith in there for the lead. Lesniewski up in front. Gets a half-car length advantage. Marty Ward just sits there, decides which way he wants to go. So tries to reel him in.
Lesniewski knows this is his time. This car does not work well in the daylight, and that is the next race. He says it works absolutely best under the lights. Second twice, both times in this car. He is in the lead as the laps wind down. We are now on lap 63 of 67. It is almost over.
Lesniewski for the lead. Here comes Ward back. You talk to take a look at this. Up the outside goes the 74. That's Gary Layton taking the high side. He's around the 81 and the 4. That is for fourth. That is for fourth. The 4 car is pulled away. Fowler stays in third. Jerry Rector falls back. David Smith tried to make a run up in there, but still for the moment, Fowler is third and Gary Layton is in fourth. Here's Marty Ward. He's had quite a lot of NASCAR All-Pro experience. Looking down to the inside another time. You think he's got any more to give?
He sure is going to try, Ken. He's not going to give up on this thing for sure. He, too, is auditioning for one of those big league rides. He knows the Busch Series car owners and Winston Cup car owners are watching him. 2 laps to go. Sparks underneath Lesniewski's car. Every single lap, Ward tries him. Every lap.
Sets him up down the back straightaway for the moment. Fowler draws away by about 2 car lengths from Gary Layton in the 74. Jerry Rector stays in 5th. In 6th, David Smith with a great run he's made tonight. White flag is down. This is it. Last lap.
You just saw Ward's crew cheering him on. He's lost some ground. He's lost some ground. There's almost a car length between them now. They head down the back straightaway on the very last lap.
California against South Carolina in this one. Couple of Chevys up in front of the Sportsman 100. This is it, turning for home. Down to the inside comes Marty Ward, up lap car just in front of him. And as they come to the stripe, it'll be Lester Lesniewski getting his first Sportsman win. Porterville, California driver home first. The South Carolinian in second. Fowler will take third. Layton comes across fourth. Rector fifth. And David Smith from 21st up to 6th. Dandy race. And we'll meet Lester Lesniewski, winner of the Sportsman 100 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, after we pause for these messages. Well, all the lights are on in victory lane for Lester Lesniewski. He's going to be one happy puppy after this performance. Yep, came a long way, all the way from where Richard Brooks started, Porterville, California. And Glenn Jarrett is in victory lane to greet our champion.
And he's getting congratulations from his crew. First of all, Lester, congratulations. Great win there.
Oh, man, it's about time. I'll tell you, it's been a long time coming. And everybody was bad tonight. We were just a little bit better bad than they were.
Well, you certainly had a mirror full of Marty Ward there the last half of the race. Did he have you worried?
Well, we knew that he would be better on a colder tire. And I was just hoping I'd get the jump on him and hold on.
Well, hold on, he did, and did a great job of it. It's pretty tough driving when you got a guy like that chasing you down, but he held him off for the win, his first ever in Sportsman victory. We're going to let him out of the car and celebrate with his crew.
That celebration will go for a while. Congratulations to Lester Lesniewski. Porterville, California reigns at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in this Sportsman 100 miler. More in a moment. Our Gatorade pit report. This pit report from the good folks at Gatorade. Let's go down and get an updated story right now.
Well, this is Doug Cruz. He's the crew chief for Lester Lesniewski, and these guys have been trying a long, long time. Doug is a Charlotte native here, living local nearby. You've been trying for many years. It finally happened tonight, Doug. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I'm real happy. It's been great. We've been trying so hard and watch everybody else and had some seconds, and this is great. It's fantastic.
Well, it certainly is fantastic. Again, congratulations. We're proud of you guys, and hope you can do it again Saturday.
Congratulations in order for Doug Cruz. Gatorade has brought you this pit report. The thirst quencher, for some recess never ends. Life's a sport. Drink it up. Sportsman 100, the Goodies 100 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Lesniewski winning. Marty Ward fighting him right to the wire. Wally Fowler, Gary Layton, Jerry Rector in the top 5. And we have an update from the hospital on Satterfield, who had that hard crash down in turn 4.
Well, Ken, I'm happy to update you that all 3 or 4 drivers, I should say, that walked out of the infield care center were okay. Don Satterfield, for precautionary reasons, has been taken to the Cabarrus Memorial Hospital right outside here, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. He was wearing a neck brace, but they informed me that it was just for precautionary reasons, so he is gone, and he'll probably spend the night there.
Thanks, Randy. We're glad to have that report. Let's take a look at this top 10. Gave you that front 5 there. You see them back to Rector. Let's go a little further back in the standings thus far in the race that we're getting with David Smith, Mike Galt, Andy Thurman, David R. Smith, and Ronnie Sewell bringing us to the top 10. And we can get a story from Glenn Jarrett about Jerry Rector, who finally wound up this race in 5th spot.
Well, Jerry, you had a little problem there with the tire, and I know that had to be frustrating not to be able to change that.
Yeah, we blistered the tire about halfway, and we had a bad push. We just missed our setup tonight.
Well, I told the people watching us tonight how the first time I ever raced here, I had a heck of a battle with you in a Sportsman race for 7th place. So I kind of told a story about how old you are, but you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, a long time. About 25 years, I guess.
Well, let's see, you must have started when you were like 9 or 10 then, right?
Well, not that early, but it's pretty early.
All right, you've had a lot of experience in this division. You've had a lot of success. I know that you're looking forward to that win, though, here at Charlotte. You've got to be. You've come so close.
Well, we're getting closer, but when we get to far second, as far as we can get, it seems like.
Well, he has been frustrated a little bit. Maybe come this weekend, it'll be his day. Jerry Rector.
So, at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, we'll have more of the story here about this great sportsman race. This is the best one we've seen. one bad moment, but other than that, flawless race. Look at the major incident here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, which involved a total of 6 automobiles. There's the 21 car getting into number 1 Satterfield, where it all began.
And I think Satterfield slowed down. Both the 21 and the 46 closed on him at exactly the same speed.
Matt Mullins.
Yeah, and 21 Matt Mullins is only running his 3rd race here at Charlotte. And as you can see, the Satterfield incident catches both of the cars in the same incident.
Bubba Urban's car is the one on the outside that goes up in that inferno with the Satterfield car. And just when you thought it was coming to a conclusion, it got worse.
A lot of oil and debris down, drivers checking up, spotters telling them take it easy, take it easy. Everybody's slowing down except right there.
Neighbors.
Yep.
That was the Neighbors car that came in so solidly. Tim Neighbors. He is all right after that crash, but it certainly looked nasty for a moment there. Also getting caught up some was the Wagner car. Henry Benfield's car spun, was able to go, and of course Sherry Minter was behind it, got in the oil, checked up into the wall, and took the nose off her car. More in a moment.
The Charlotte Motor Speedway, where 100 miles of Sportsman action is completed. Standing by with Marty Ward. You finished 2nd. A great week for you here at Charlotte.
Yeah, like I say, you know, we come in here and sit on 2 poles and won 1 race and run 2nd. You know, it's a great week. We missed the setup a little bit tonight. We hadn't got no practice on the lights, and they had to run in the daytime, and I just flat goofed up on the setup. That's all they are to it.
Well, this is another guy that made a nice move to miss that wreck that was up in turns 3 and 4. We'll be back to put the finishing touches on it from here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway right after this.
In this division so far, Ken, it really was very close competition. Everybody kept their nose clean. We had one big one, and that was it. And a good race. We're going to see some more good racing, too, in this division before it's all done and over with. And we'll be back with more in a moment.
Lester Lesneski, who defeated Marty Ward at the finish of 100 miles in Sportsman racing at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. For Glenn Jarrett, Randy Pemberton, and Dick Berggren, I'm Ken Squire. Good night, folks.